Chapter 1, Part 1. As Wine starts walking home, thinking about playing Genshin, doing commissions while making ramen, she was wearing thick clothing in the freezing weather. It was also colder than usual. When Wine got home, she took a hot and relaxing shower after a long day of work. It grew dead silent. Venti said. Wine blushed at the thought, saying, "Oh, you're not even real. I shouldn't catch feelings," she said in her head. Even though he constantly pops in her mind, she gets out of the shower drenched with water, wrapped herself with a towel. She went to her bed where her cute pajamas lay, and she dressed herself. She headed towards the kitchen, making ramen, and prepared to play Genshin. While making, she finished her commissions and started to think about if she were to live in Genshin, or be a god, or an NPC living amongst others. Funny, I wish. If she starts feeling drowsy, it's only a wish, right? When you start waking up, a voice said, "One that fell from the sky, you and your best power shall make bonds, as you are now the goddess of romance and lust. If you need any assistance, ask those gods around you for assistance." As Wine fully wake up, she sees nature flowing everywhere. She looks into a pond, seeing that her appearance changed. Remembering the echoing voice again, "You are the goddess of romance and lust." Finally realizing her surroundings, the scenery looks similar to Genshin. She seems to be in the forest near Mondstadt, where Traveler first started. With the snap of a finger, she thought of Mondstadt's clothing. She wanted to wear and started walking towards the gate. She also grabbed some apples to make it seem like she went out to pick out the apples, and greeted the guards and continued walking in. As Wyan started walking around Mondstadt, she sees two young grown adults that have been liking each other for a year. She uses her powers to make one of them confess. Watching them with a sigh and smile, she continues walking. You think about visiting Blanche to see the dog as she walks towards the dog that leaps at her. The dog begins to lick her. She giggles and gives it pets, like she wanted to, since it was not allowed outside the game. She didn't have any meat on her, so she smiled and said, "I'll come back again to get you some meat someday." It was growing dark, so she headed towards the tavern to stay for the night. When she walks in, she sees Venti sitting waiting for his vine. He sensed power within her, but it was different from the others, nor did she look recognizable. "Who are you?" he asked, narrowing his eyes with caution. She didn't want to reveal herself yet, so she said, "I'm Wyan," as she takes a seat next to him. "You're not from here, are you?" Venti said. She dismissed him, saying the information is confidential. She's practically a stranger. She playfully asked with a smile, "What a famous bard want with me?" Venti says suspiciously, "Just curious." He starts to drink his wine, while she asks Charles to rent a room. She starts walking to her room and checking it out. Although food and clothes were not a problem, she needed other necessities. She thought about joining the Adventurers Guild, though she could be a catalyst. She doesn't have a vision. Her powers are not meant for combat either. She doesn't have any combat skills. She thought about revealing herself to Venti tomorrow, but it's the only way. Or that's what you thought your power was going to do. Chapter 1, Part 2. You wake up and change your outfit again, so you wouldn't seem as suspicious. You wore a white blouse followed by a skirt. You wore your favorite colored earrings and a ponytail. As you walked down the stairs and greeted Charles, saying, "I can pay you back by the end of the day." He nods before you leave. After you leave the tavern, you head towards Windrise to find Venti. As you start look around for him, he pops up in your face so close that you were half startled and you were blushing. Looking for me? Venti said. And what if I am? You said, surprised. He leaned closer and leaned as you leaned back. He smells like apples and mint. Why'd you come looking for me, dear lion? said smiling Venti. If I know your heart's about to explode. I need you for something, and I have something to say. You say, go on, tell me what you need. Venti said, I'm a traveler, and I want to join the Adventurers Guild, but I don't wield combat weapons or visions, nor do I know how to use them. I'm also the god of romance, and that's kind of like a Cupid. You said in the last sentence confidently. At this point, you might fall to the ground and he might collapse on you. You push him so that neither of you is leaning. When I met you at the bar, I did feel your power, but how can I be so sure? Can you show me? He said, winking. Sure, you said, looking away and blushing. You see two cranes from a distance and use your powers. So I see. But what do the Adventurers Guild gotta do with me? Said Venti. I just need more for a place to live. You said, Mora, will I also get half of the rewards as well? Venti said curiously. Of course. It would be done with me, he said. So, are we friends now? Venti said, twinkling with puppy eyes. But I don't know your name yet, and who exactly you are, you said playfully. I'm Barbados, the Archon of Animo and Freedom, disguised as Venti the Bard. A 3-time winner, he said proudly. Nice to meet you, he said, smirking, pretending not to know. Looking expectantly. Are we friends now? He asked. Yeah, sure, let's go to Catherine for some commissions, he said with a warm smile. Alright, let's go get some Mora, he said. Fast forward to the commissions. As Venti does all the combat, he always wanders elsewhere looking for citizens to help and finish commissions. After the commissions, you sit next to each other on one of the benches in Mondstadt. We earned so much more today. We should go to the tavern and celebrate, said Venti happily. I do have to pay for my stay first, but it doesn't cost a lot. After that, I'll give the rest of the Mora to you. So, really? That's a lot of alcohol to drink. I'll buy you a drink too, Ryan, Venti said with excitement. Okay, don't drink too much. I don't want to be my responsibility to take care of you, you say. But Ryan, I don't drink that much, he said. Sure you do, you said as you giggled. When you enter the tavern, you see Duke at the counter. He waves saying, here's the Mora for a room. Also, I'm staying for a month. As much as you want to stay in Mondstadt because of the curtain someone, you couldn't neglect your duties. What? You're only staying for a month? Why? He said, whining while drinking his wine. You know my occupations. I can't stay here for very long. Unless you want to join me on my travels, he said jokingly. I would love that, Wyatt, he said. But for the time being, could you also help me train me to use weapons so I can defend myself? You say, also hoping to spend more time with him. Yes, training starts tomorrow in the morning. Venti is smiling on his third bottle. Yes, tomorrow morning, you say, gazing at him. After you drank a few more, he fell asleep. You ask Dulik where Venti goes when he stops drinking. Dulik says he wakes up about 20 minutes after and leaves. Knowing that he sleeps outside without a bed, you think Dulik and you take Venti to your room. Put him in your bed while you took an extra pillow and ask Dulik for another blanket. The floor may be hard, but you slept. Chapter 1, Part 3, Venti's Pelvis. It's past midnight, and Venti wakes up and sees Boy on the floor, sleeping. He's saying, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" He carries you towards the bed, switching places with you. You look so peaceful, he thought. When he's about to go to bed, you grab his arm, saying, "Don't go." Startled, he turned around, saying, "It's alright, I'm here," he said, comforting, stroking your hair and caressing your cheek while chuckling himself, kissing your forehead, and up pulling your hand, sleeping on the edge of the mattress. In the morning, you're pivot. You wake up expecting back pain from the floor, but you're greeted with a comfortable bed. You sit up looking around in confusion. Huh? Venti? Where are you? The door burst open. Hey, let's go train with your weapon of choice, Venti said. You get up walking towards the door with an apple in your hand from your first day. You take a few bites of it on your way, knowing Venti also takes a bite. Apples are my favorites, you know? Yeah, I know you do, and it seems like the traveler already finished the main quest in the Mondstadt. You said in your head. Really? Then should I bake some apple pie? You said. Although you never tried making apple pie, you wanted to try. Apple pie sounds delicious, he says with his eyes sparkling. You laugh and say, I wouldn't trust my baking skills because of some past mistakes, but this is my first time making apple pie, so it wouldn't hurt to try. Oh, you're so determined. I like that, he said. He went into the fields in one rise, spinning. Wait up, he said, smiling. You fall into the grass with a soft plop and gaze at the sky, pretending to grab the clouds. Venti hovers over your head, saying, I'll teach you how to use the bow first, since I mastered it the most. Venti holds his hand, helping you get up. He pulls out of his bow, demonstrating how to shoot. Now you give it a try, he said. When you shoot, the arrow falls 3 feet away. He laughed and pouted, saying, Well, I tried. Come here. Let me do it, Thea. Now get into a shooting position, he said. You get into a shooting position, and he places his hand over yours. You start to get flustered. His chest is against your back, and his head is next to yours. You feel his breathe against your skin as your heart skipped a beat. Venti's and your hand pulled the arrow back. Shoot, he said in your ear. When the arrow shot, it hit the crane. He was still holding the bow with you, and you're still red. We did it, yeah, Wyan! Wyan, are you sick? You look so red, he said, touching your forehead for your temperature. No, I'm not sick. I must be out of breath. Let's continue training, you said, looking at me, flustered. You sure? He said, concerned. Yes, I'm sure, he said, assuring him. You and Venti both train and do commissions the entire day. When you got back to Mondstadt with him, you told him you'll meet him at the tavern. You checked to see if you still had the fowl in your inventory, which you did. You start walking towards the dog you met a few days ago and put some fowls in the bowl. That tickles, he said when the dog started licking you. Okay, I have to go now, he said, rubbing the dog's belly. You see Venti at the corner of your eye watching you. Pretending not to see him, you walked past him as he ran to the tavern. When you got to the tavern, you see him asking for a drink. Holding in the laugh, you say, I'm surprised you didn't start drinking it considering how long I've been away. I was just counting the more we collected to split the amount, he said. Yeah, we already counted them, you said, smirking. Ha! I guess there's no use hiding from you, he said. Go on, tell me what you were doing, he said, knowing the truth. I watched you feed the dog. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not stalking you. I don't like you, she said. Ouch, you said. No, wait. I like you as friends, not lovers, he said. He laughed, saying, I know, I was just playing with you. Although it did hurt quite a lot when he said that, because you liked him a little more than you anticipated. He drank half of the bottle, and you said, Okay, you're not sleeping outside. You're sleeping in my room again. Fine, but you're sleeping on the bed, and I'll sleep on the floor. He said, okay, but you better be in my room when I wake up. I'm worried you'll... Never mind. He said, you walk upstairs to your room and face plants on the bed. You turn to your head, thinking about Venti hiding from you. Then you laugh yourself to sleep. Chapter 1, Part 4. In Genshin, and Traveler could be fighting Lazel the god and Lue later in the day. He exited the tavern, walking towards Catherine and Venti and the Traveler with emergency food. Venti was talking to Traveler, and you assumed that he was doing the commissions. Hey Wyan, do you have a good sleep? Venti said, yeah, but I can't remember the dream at all. But I do remember you were in it, you said, when you really knew what exactly happened in the dream. But he didn't need to know. So who exactly is that and that floating kid? You said, looking at LeBlanc, Traveler, and Paimon. Venti replied, this is Traveler and emergency food, they replied. Hey, Paimon's not emergency food. Traveler, you're the one who's gonna be in the pot one day. Trust me, Paimon said. Not unless you're first, they said. Venti and you laughed, and Paimon glared at you both. So, are you and Venti in a relationship? Because you both seem like you're Traveler said, interrupted. You say, haha, why really? We only met like 4 days ago. Okay, Traveler said. Before they left, you said, Traveler, do you know anyone that has trouble with love? Oh no. Why you ask? They said. You whispered, I'm the god of lust. And their eyes widened in surprise, knowing another god. But you don't own land? They said. I don't need to, cause I have to travel all over Tavit to mend, bond, break, maybe make a kid, if you know what I mean. You said. Does this mean you'll be good and better kissing since you're the god of lust too? He said. I don't know about that. I haven't had my first kiss yet too. He said with the tomato face rubbing her neck. Venti said, she's most likely is, since I'm like Freebird and Marx is sticking to his contracts with more or less 99% of the time. Traveler said, I don't know about that. I may be expert at love or less, but I have no experience with relationships whatsoever. I may have had a relationship in the past, but I don't consider it real because there was no intimate feelings. They said, oh, I see, they both said. Well, bye, Traveler, and don't let your guard down around Fatu, especially the ones that are close to you, he said. Venti? He said, turning your head to him. Yes? He said. Let's go to our commissions, he said, smiling. After commissions, Venti, can you play your lute while I go to sleep? He said, distracting him from the wine. Sure. Only if you come to my premises on the weekend, he said. Yeah, why not? And do you want to go apple picking tomorrow to make apple pie? You said. Of course, he said. You both greeted Charles and went upstairs. You quickly go to bed, eager to hear him play his lyre. He laughed with your sudden excitement and pulled out his lyre. He starts to strum the lyre, then your tense nerves start to calm. As your eyes begin to close, the song was nearing at the end. And when your eyes close, Venti brushed your hair out of your face. Sleep tight, Wyan, he said softly. Chapter 1, Part 5. Wyan, wake up. You promised me you'll go watch me at the statue, Venti said. 1 more minute, please, he said. Wyan, get out before I do something, he said. No, I'm staying in bed, he said. I guess you leave me no choice. He comes to you, hovering his hands over you, and gets ready to tickle you. Stop. Okay, he said. He stopped and said, I warned you though. I just wanted to sleep a few more minutes. He muttered. What was that one? He said, nothing. He said, why? You fixed your hair and went out with Venti and the statue, but someone stops you before you continue walking. Hello, Miss. I'm Alex, and I noticed here. I wanted to ask if I can hang out and go stargazing as they a random PC says. I'm sorry. Did you say that to me? He said. Yes. Random NPC said. I'm sorry, but I don't know you, and I'm into someone else at that moment. He said. Oh, well, I see. Sorry for disturbing you. Random NPC said. Did the bar gain a significant other? The NPC said. Most likely. I keep seeing them together. She's the only girl I've ever seen him with, unless he's with an honorary knight. They look so cute together. Another NPC says. I definitely agree, other NPC said. Don't they have other things to do than gossip? He said. You don't love me, Lion? He said. Did you forget? If I did, I'd leave that to your imagination. I think you love me, he said. No, actually, I hate you. He said. Huh, Lion? I didn't know you don't actually hate me, he said, smirking. You were shocked he saw right through you. I guess I do, he said. You and him arrived at the statue, and you watched his vision turn into his lair. Do you have a favorite song, Lion? Venti said. I don't really have one, though. Play whatever you like that comes into mind, he said, knowing the song you like didn't exist in Genshin. How about a song about a brave warrior giving freedom to her people who were enslaved, he said. That seems interesting, Yi said, already knowing this through the game. Plays a song, and people stood together, you two. Thank you, as he lowered and bowed. People clapped or left. She seems amazing, Venti, he said. She is. If you want, you can visit her symbol at Moonrise, he said. I'd love to, he said. Huh. Let's go, he said, smiling. You both teleport to the tree and you walk towards the tree. You also paid your respects to her and reminded her strength in her own battles. You turn to look at Venti and you hear her sway to the right, staring at him with a tint of pink cheeks. He stared back at you with his awkward eyes and smiled. He opened his arms, letting you hug him. His mint aroma and his warm touch made you feel safe. Could we stay like this for a while? He said shyly. He said. After 15 minutes, breaking contact, you were really close to each other, not that your lips almost touched. Yeah, I'm good, you said, also laughing. I want to try baking that apple pie tomorrow. He asked. Yes, let's go buy the ingredients today since we don't really have much time for apple picking, he said. You both teleport to Monster and walking separately to stalls. Let's meet up back at the tavern, he said, after buying what you needed. It was turning dark, so you walked back to the groceries. Lion, you're so pretty, a familiar voice said when you walked in. I'm really that pretty, he said. Yes, you're so pretty that I want you to be mine, Venti said. That's drunk you speaking, he said, blushing. No, I'm speaking the truth. Whenever I'm with you, I feel so happy. And when I'm drawn to you, and We need to get married, he said. No, this is definitely you, drunk you speaking. That's enough alcohol for you now, old bard, he said. Hey, I'm not old. I'm a god, and we never grow old, he said. Okay, you're not old, but let us go to sleep, okay? He said. Okay, fine, he pouted. He dragged him up the stairs with his arm around your shoulders. He placed his head gently on the pillow. You placed his head gently on the pillow and went to your bed. Wine, you know I love you, right? He said. Yeah, I know. I love you too, he said. Well, that's the end of chapter 1 and part 5. Stay tuned. Sorry for the bad audio and everything, and the weird song mix-ups.